move into music and the meditation, I'd just like to tell you a little bit about Reverend Toni. She is an inspirational and dynamic speaker, author, minister, certified organizational and life coach, nurse, poet, and known for her passionate teaching style and her expert facilitation of personal empowerment and transformational retreats and workshops. Reverend Toni is retired from everyday corporate life and is in sacred service to the expansion of consciousness awareness, of spiritual teachings, quantum spirituality, and the concepts underpinning organization and life coaching. Reverend Toni has written many, many books. I looked them up on Amazon, and there were a number of them, such as The Power of Be, Luminous Darkness, Embracing the Feminine Nature of the Divine, and many, many more. So I invite you to check out Amazon yourself and take a look at the wonderful books that she has authored. So welcome, Reverend Toni. We will play a song, Let Go of the Trish, can you just remind me, is this for before or after?
That's for now.
Thank you. Oh, I was too fast, slow.
Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, flow into the mystery. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, flow into the mystery. You have all you need, it's all inside of you. Just close your eyes and breathe and know that you are safe. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, flow into the mystery. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, flow into the mystery. No need to make a plan, your heart will be your compass. Lift yourself in faith and trust you will arrive. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, flow into the mystery, flow into the mystery.
Allowing the vibration of that music to carry us deeper into our heart space. Just invite you to close your eyes. Be present to your own indwelling vibration of Christ energy. a luminous, radiant, diamond, crystalline light that lives within you. Connecting with this light, with this field of energy, brings to mind those words that were spoken by the master teacher, Yeshua, or Jesus, when he said the prayer, and he said, Beshami, Beshami. Pray in this sound vibration energy. Pray in this sound. He wasn't giving us a prayer per se, but a vibration. And he went on to say in his own language of Aramaic, Avun Daboshmeya, which today means focus, O birther, creator, mother, father of the universe. Focus your light within us and let it shine. And then he said, Nethkadish Shemach, let us dance together in the nuptial chamber in the heart. So as we flow into the mystery that lives in the nuptial chamber of the heart, where we abide and reside in the mystery of spirit, where we dance at the edge of mystery, allowing spirit to open us, to align us, to attune us to higher levels and dimensions of awareness, so that the gifts and talents that live in each one of us are awakened and opened, that we may be in universal service to the world. So it is that we take this message of the Avon into the nuptial chamber of silence. Avon. And from the unknown, from the willingness to dance at the edge of mystery, we end with the final words of the prayer as a chant of Matolele Malkuta wa Haila wa Tashbuta Lam Amid Amen La Halam Amen Amen. From age to age, forever and ever, these words are true. And so it is. Amen. Taking deep breath, attention, awareness to this time and space. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So our lesson today is coherence or resistance. Which energy field do you want to live in? And today's lesson is from my book, Soul Mastery. So I just invite you, if this lessons interest you, to look look that up on Amazon. So last week we discussed coherence and resistance. We went into detail about it. This week we're going to be focusing on coherence, what it means and what it means to be in coherence and why it's important to our spiritual journey. And so I'm just going to do, for those who aren't here, a quick recap of coherence and coherent energy and what is resistance and incoherent energy. So first and foremost, we must live, know, and have our being in the following. The idea, unity principle number one, there's only one presence and one power in the universe. Friends, when we get that, when we know that there is only one presence and one power, when it's not a platitude, when it's not a just something we say on Sunday, when it is a realized knowing of the one, then we know that everything is energy and energy doesn't lie. Energy doesn't lie, meaning you can't hide your energy or your vibration for those who can't see and sense. And many are awakening to seeing and sensing. And regardless of how good an actor you think you might be, it is felt. Your energy is felt. And from Charles Fillmore, the co-founder of Unity, he says, as with energy, everything has vibration. Your words, your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, and vibration imprints in your field and around it. And in every interaction, there is an exchange of energy and vibration. Right here, right now, we are having an interaction of an exchange of energy and vibration. And many of you will feel this exchange of energy. So breathe that in. Breathe it in. And just take a moment to allow the vibrational tone of awareness of that to imprint on you. Because when you consciously are sensitive to energy, vibration, and frequency, as you engage in the understanding of it, you become more sensitive to it. And this is the metaphysical meaning behind the scriptures of Matthew 9 and Luke 22. And Jesus read their hearts and knew what they were thinking. Matthew 9. Luke 5 says, Jesus read their hearts and asked, why do you harbor evil? There are 10 such quotes in the Gospels. In the Gospels about reading hearts, which again, Mr. Fillmore says Jesus' life is a blueprint. It's a template for those things that we are able to do and will unfold into as we progress along the spiritual journey. Additionally, and this is what soul mastery comes to teach, is that it's important to know and understand that the level of vibration that you hold, meaning the more your thoughts are aligned with higher dimensional thinking, the less resistance you have in the field, the more coherent you are. So third dimensional thoughts, lower thoughts, are feelings of anger and hatred and unforgiveness and resistance towards someone or even a political group, even something as subtle as that. But as you hold those, the more resistance is in your field. The higher the level of your vibration, energy aligned with fourth dimension, fifth dimension, and higher, that energy holds capacity to be willing. It holds trust. Instead of fearing something or wanting to, am I safe? Am I safe? Am I safe? Trust that you're safe, because how could you not be? There's only one presence and one power in the universe. How could you not be safe? Because when you know that life is eternal. And even if something happened to you, you're safe in the truth of the trust of one presence and one power. So, and the higher the thoughts you hold, or you stay in those elevated emotions, the quicker is the impact of your thoughts and feelings. The quicker is the impact. So resistance occurs when you're out of the flow of the rhythm of life, or out of the flow of spirit, out of alignment with source energy. And resistance comes up when you're playing small, when you're being egoic, when you're being needy, playing the victim, when you're working out of your shadows and you don't see them, when you're holding fear of greed and jealousy and poor me and lack consciousness. Remember, this is not about right or wrong, friends. This is just about you learning honest self-observation, for which Mr. Fillmore says, honest self-observation is the prelude to Christ consciousness. You can't get into Christ consciousness and awareness if you're not being willing to lean into what's really happening in me. What's the energy in me? So mastery is the capacity to consciously sustain and maintain Christ awareness. And we can't do that, friends. We've been dancing in both worlds, but we can sustain and maintain Christ awareness, higher vibration. We can be in coherence regardless of what's happening around us. So mastery is when we develop the capacity to simultaneously work with energy and vibration that is bringing information that's arising from multiple realms of being within us. And then to see and sense how it applies to what's happening in the moment. For example, I mentioned our gifts and talents. As we awaken, new gifts and talents arise. Somebody said earlier that Trish had asked the question a few years ago, what am I going to do now? Well, Spirit had unfolded a new gift within her. And she was able to take that gift and now put it into universal service. And when I do spiritual coaching, because this has been a journey that I've been on for many years, I can now sense the energy and vibration behind the words that people are speaking. And I hear them as tones and levels. And then I can see how it's imprinting on their lives and affecting various levels. And once I can sense it, then I can ask empowering questions that invite them into seeing it for themselves. I never tell anybody what I sense. I only ask the questions that will spark them seeing them for themselves. For what I know is that when you can see it, you can be it. When you can see it, you can heal it. And so those are the types of gifts and talents that start to arise as we follow and open up into these higher dimensional awarenesses that we have been calling Christ consciousness. So in my book, Soul Mastery, I set forth 33 tenets of what happens to us as we move into this higher awareness. They're actually practical application tools that are required to develop into Christ consciousness, to sustain and maintain coherence, to truly be, Cheryl mentioned the power of be, but it is the book, The Power of Be, to be the presence of all is well in any circumstance in order that we might embody higher awareness, regardless of what's going on around us. Now, again, this isn't about judgment, good or bad. This is just about us being present. And guess what? We're going to slip. And that's okay. That's okay. So the first tenet of soul mastery and part of how we develop the capacity is to remember the new reality and norm I choose is to understand myself, to be a multidimensional being. I want you to think about this because you're naturally a multidimensional being. You have within you levels and systems of being. You are an ecosystem, and within that ecosystem, you have a bio, neuro, chemical, psychological, physical, spiritual, karmic, etheric levels of being are all within you. So the new reality that we choose is to realize and to understand ourselves as multidimensional beings. And the more that we see ourselves as a multidimensional being with levels and systems within us, the more we can move forward in our spiritual growth. And part of that is to remember Charles Fillmore's words, where he, from Fourth Dimension in Man, where he says unity is a fourth dimensional teaching, which opens the way to the I am. It is a bridge between third and fifth dimension, remembering that dimensions are not locations, but vibrating fields of energy. From our founder, Charles Fillmore. So that's one. Two, I'm not going through all 33. I've picked a few that I really want to go through, is to remember, as we saw in your opening statement, I am a spiritual vibrational being in a human experience. And as a vibrational being, I am a vibrational transmitter, a broadcast signal for the attraction of my experiences. So that takes us back to choice. What are we going to choose? Are we going to choose to live in anger and fear? Are we going to lift up our eyes, as Jesus said, as Yeshua said? Lift up your eyes, the fields are ready for harvest. There is within you a presence and power, and that field is ready for you too. It's ripe, it's ready for harvest. 3, as a vibrational transmitter, all vibrational signals that I send forth are in vibrational alignment with the momentum of energy that I have created and work according to law. Mr. Fillmore says, right use or wrong use, the law works. So every vibrational signal I send out as a broadcast signal comes back to me. Think about this in giving. When you give, do you give with this open heart that's so excited, full of joy, and using your faculty of zeal? Or do you give with, oh, I don't know if I ought to give that $10 because I might need something this week? That's how it's going to come back to you. That's how it's going to come back to you. 4, and this is important. No dimensional level of awareness is better than one another, just different. Just different. And we only know what we know until we know more, until we know different. But we have the capacity to choose which dimension we will live from. And in that moment, it takes practice, practice, practice. It takes practical application of the tools. So we have to want to engage and experience from a higher level of awareness, but just ask. You are surrounded by support that is wanting to help you. 5, I am here to be an example, to be a way shower. That's why you have chosen to be in unity, because you have chosen to be an example, to be a way shower into higher dimensional awareness. We just have to learn how to live it so that it is sustained and maintained. However, to be this example, we have to, this is an imperative, friends. We have to overcome our own self-imposed limitations and perceptions. We have to overcome them. If you look at the life of Jesus and you watch the unfoldment as part of soul evolution, you will see that that's what Jesus did. Every step of the way he came from birth, a baby, to the teenager in consciousness, to going into the wilderness, being willing to look at everything, to coming out of the wilderness and knowing, Mr. Fillmore says, that he overcame, where he could say to the devil, get thee behind me. Get thee behind me. And then he began his ministry. That's how it unfolds. 6, everything that occurs in my life is a transmission of energy and vibration. And it is alignment, and it is in alignment. My vibration impacts. My vibration impacts my current landscape of reality. My vibration impacts my current level of reality. So we want to be careful of the thoughts, the words, the actions, the feelings that we have been holding. 7 is all experiences. I don't care what has happened to you, and I'm not negating it, because we all have had things happen to us. I don't care if someone left you penniless, if someone stole everything you had out of your bank account. I don't care if they, whatever it was, whatever it is, all experiences, when we really know that we know, come to teach me about what I want and what I don't want, how I'm living Christ consciousness or not. And when we start living from that consciousness, when we lift our eyes and start not looking, judging by appearance, but going, what's the energy behind this? What's the energy behind this? Then we will understand that our experiences come to teach us about who we are in each moment and who we are not. Therefore, we don't get attached to what's happening or believe or give meaning to it or project it onto somebody else. And that's what we have to look at. When are we projecting what's really going on in our lives onto somebody else? When really it's time for us to look at what's going on with us. When we start to look at these things, they will shift, they will transform. And that's number 8, transformation of my past, my beliefs, my perceptions. I like to call it deactivation. You have to deactivate to transform. Deactivate the past beliefs, the past perceptions. It's a transcendent include. You don't throw it away. You transcend and include. It's not an eliminate and destroy. It's looking at what served you, what didn't serve you, and seeing where you can go with this. And the last one I'm going to use, maybe the last one, is that Christ consciousness, even though I use those words, is not awakening in you. It's awake. It's already awake in you. Really breathe that in. Christ consciousness is not awakening in you. It is already awake. It's our human self with all of our accumulation of dense energy that is reawakening and remembering the truth that our soul holds. Who am I? Who am I as a master facilitator of energy? And am I willing to be a master facilitator of energy? Am I willing to stop playing small? When we will not believe that we have the power to read hearts, that we have the intuitive gifts that are beyond anything we could dream of, that we can even teleport, show up in somebody's dream, or show up in somebody's head, and you're thinking about them, so you show up in their head and they call you. Have you ever had that happen? You just teleported. These gifts are here waiting our awakening. So the last one, really, I work on myself first. I utilize tools such as honest self-observation, meditation. Nevertheless, I am willing. I may not want to. There may be times I might want to be justified in my anger. But nevertheless, I'm willing to take that deep breath and shift into something more interesting. I'm willing to be transparent. I'm willing to be. These are the tools: authenticity, vulnerable. I'm willing to know and understand about energy, vibration, and frequency. I'm willing to release my old perceptions so that new perceptions of higher dimensional awareness may come through me. So with all of that, I just say thank you, thank you, thank you. Remembering from Charles Fillmore, life is an ever progressive, ever evolving upward spiral of conscious evolution. Life is an ever progressive, ever evolving upward spiral of conscious evolution, of soul evolution. And I treat it as such. I treat it as such. And as I do that, I then truly become aware of the fact that I am a spiritual, vibrational being, going back to the first one, having a human experience. And the Christ in me that is awake is desiring my attention. God bless you all. Bless you all.
I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. All is well, all is well. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. All is well, all is well, all is well. And every day I affirm and pray that I'm blessed with everything I have. I release my fear, 'cause it's all so clear. I am held, I am loved, I am safe. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I am well, I am well, I am well. And now I see what my life can be when I trust in the process and have faith. And now I know when I just let go that I have all I'll ever need. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I am well, I am well, I am well. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I am well, I am well, I am well, I am well. All is well, all is well. I am well. Ooh.
Oops. I am well. Reverend Toni, wow, it's just so much value and richness in your talks. I certainly want to go back and listen to them again, as I'm sure others will. I really enjoyed how you explained things. I wrote down dimensions. Are they vibrating fields of energy? And I just loved the way you explained that, and so many other things. So thank you so much. Our gratitude expresses as peace, love, and joy. And we are grateful, and we have been wonderfully blessed by your presence and your wisdom. And we